My name is Shane Catino. Nice to meet you. I'm with Corning.
Nice to meet you, Shane. I'm Richie Barber from Apple.
Great. Here's my card right here.
Thank you, and here's mine as well.
Thanks. So, Richie, just to start it off today, like I said, I am from Corning, and I just wanted to come in today and get to know a little bit about you and Apple in general as a company. So, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? Where are you from?
Well, I am from Cleveland, Ohio, specifically a suburb, like around 20 to 30 minutes outside of the city. It's not a bad drive. Where are you from, Shane?
I'm from a small town, actually, it's called Paris, Kentucky. And yeah, I was raised on a horse farm. I've pretty much lived in a horse farm my entire life. So yeah, that's where I grew up. Real small town, but glad to be here today. It's really nice weather outside. It's really warm here in Cupertino.
I agree.
So tell me a little bit about your family. Close knit, or?
Yeah, it's a pretty close knit family. I have a wife, 2 kids. They're relatively young, and then yeah, my family tries to stay close. I got all my cousins, aunts, and uncles that live around the same city as me.
Okay.
But there's a few outliers in Florida we don't see very often, but the ones that are close, we try to keep it close-knit. What's your family situation like, Shane?
I'm doing pretty good. I got a wife, recently married last year, so that's been great so far, and we're planning on having a kid soon, so getting a little nervous for that. Not sure if I'm ready to be a dad yet, but I'm excited for it. So you said you had 2 kids yourself?
I do, yeah. Congratulations on the kid, by the way. It's very fulfilling to have a kid. But yeah, it's time consuming and they can get on your nerves, but boy, do I love it.
So you do a lot of dad activities, driving to soccer games, football games, that sort of stuff?
Oh yeah, my son just started off in Pee Wee football, and my daughter just started in soccer. Me and the wife go to all the games that we can, when we're off work, and yeah, we just try to spend as much time as possible with them. Do you have any ideas on what you're going to name the child, or the gender of it by chance?
I was thinking about Shane Jr., but working with some different options right now. My wife is not entirely down for that name yet, so a little bit more negotiating to go with her, but we'll get there someday. But you mentioned the kids were in football and soccer. Is that something that you did when you were younger as well? Maybe still in?
I did. Actually, when I was very young, I played soccer for a little bit, but I just grew out of it. And then once I got into grade school, I started picking up football and basketball. Then went up to high school, played football for 2 years, lacrosse for 4, and that was the end of my formal athletic career, as you'd say. Did you play any sports?
Yeah, so I kind of grew up, my dad was a big soccer fan, and he kind of taught me by myself at the house for a little bit, and then eventually joined the team, played throughout high school, and really did not see my career taking off. So after high school, I kind of quit playing, but I'll play every now and then in some intramurals, some street soccer games, but something that was fun for a little while, but not too big a part of my life anymore.
Yeah, I can empathize with that. That's why I only played football for 2 years. I realized my football career is not going anywhere, and I'm not going to get playing time the last 2 years. So it was like, all right, I'm a realist. I'm going to get a job and just call it a day for sports. Call it a day for football. Continue with lacrosse, but it's kind of just my route.
So you mentioned something about school. So did you look to play intramurals in college or anything?
My freshman year of college, I played intramural basketball with my friends and stuff. It was nothing big. It was like every Monday night, and it was fun, but it was only a couple weeks. And I mean, I try and keep up with lifting, but that's informal type stuff. But no really formal sports. Anything like that you've done in college?
Not too much. I've always been pretty busy, so when I had time, I would go to the gym and things of that nature. But where'd you actually go to school at?
Actually, I went to Miami University of Ohio.
Okay, all right. Wow, I heard that's a great business school there. Is that something you attended for, or what you get your degree in?
I actually got my degree in political science and communications, but I did get a minor in marketing. I started off pre-med, but I just knew that wasn't the right path for me, and it was too late to transfer into the business school. So I just kind of took my own route that I thought that would lead to the most successful career that I could have out of the cards I was dealt.
Definitely. Yeah, I actually had the chance to attend the University of Kentucky. I was a business student there and got my degree in marketing, and really had a great experience with it as well. And really had a great time learning about how to be the best business person that I can be, and glad it's got me to where I'm at right now.
How would you say the marketing program was there? I'm interested to hear about different schools' marketing program compared to Miami's.
It was pretty strong. I know I heard that Miami was recently in the top 20 for business schools, which is a great achievement. But yeah, we had a great department, and UK is definitely more of a medical focused pre-med sort of school, but it was still a great learning opportunity getting to be around that big of a university with that many students, and definitely the marketing program was pretty strong. Got to kind of dip my toes into a little bit of accounting, finance, economics, and I'm glad that I really had that experience and think that that degree has definitely helped me in my career so far.
It's funny that you mentioned that it was primarily pre-med focused. Maybe I would have stayed in the major if I went there.
Yeah, UK is definitely a great school, but I know Miami's the same way. But so it's been great getting to know you a little bit so far. But I know I mentioned in my email earlier that I kind of wanted to come in and talk to you a little bit about more the company, Apple, and your role in it. So do you mind if I just sit down and ask you a few questions? I know I mentioned the interview would last, or not the interview, but the conversation would last for maybe 30 minutes or so. Does that still work for you?
Yep, that's perfect. I have time right now.
All right, perfect. So I just want to go ahead and start off and say, Apple, it's been a great company so far. You guys have had a lot of success, and I really wanted to know and get the inside edition on really how's the Apple doing right now.
As of right now, we're actually not where we want to be. We are not doing as well as we have in the past, but we're taking steps to improve on that. For example, we are going to release a new iPhone, the iPhone X, which will be the best one of its kind, up to date.
Mm-hmm. So can you tell me a couple of the important features or aspects that you're really focusing on with this new phone coming out?
Yes. One of the most important that we've got both mixed reviews on is the lack of the home button.
Mm-hmm.
But we personally believe that since this makes the screen bigger, which gives the customer a better experience using the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it also has the best camera today and a great display. Also, when it comes to your videos, your pictures, your music, your storage, everything is the quickest and the largest storage that it's ever been, along with the best battery life. You only have to charge it once a day, and that's it, if not two.
Wow, that really sounds like something. So, how many of these new iPhones, is the iPhone X correct?
Yes.
How many of these new iPhones are you planning on manufacturing for this upcoming season?
We are planning to manufacture in the range of 40 to 45 million. I apologize.
Okay. All right. So, with that large scale of iPhones, it's going to take you some time to produce those. So how or when are you planning on really releasing the new iPhone then?
Our hopes are for in the middle of the fall, but it's looking like it might be towards the end.
Okay. All right. So that's great. And I wanted to get to know a little bit about your role here at Apple and kind of the things that you're into every single day. So can you tell me a little bit about how you ended up in this buying role here at Apple?
Yes, actually, when I was at Miami, my dad approached me one summer and said that I have a possible internship for you, and I was confused and excited. And then when I heard about it was Apple, I was ecstatic. I couldn't speak for a second. I did get the internship. Went there for an internship in the summer for sophomore, junior, and my senior year, and I just kind of found my niche in the company and gained credibility and respect from all the other employees and blossomed into a job offer after school.
That's great. So would you say that Apple kind of runs in the family? Is your dad also in the Apple company?
Yes, he is. He's a senior manager at the company right now, and
Okay.
I've learned a lot from him. It's great having your dad there. Some people might see it as a conflict of interest, but no one there sees it that way. We're pretty segregated in that aspect.
Mm-hmm. So when you were first coming up in those initial internships while you were still at college, were you working under your dad, or what were you doing?
No, specifically to avoid the conflict of interest, I was working in a different department. He was just managing different accounts and such, and I was primarily focusing on buying industrial glass for the phones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just mentioned that because, like I said, I did grow up on the horse farm, and it was something that my dad ran, and I always had kind of that tough love, father-son conflict when we were at work, but definitely work to make the process work a little bit better. So that's what I was just wondering about. But so your specific role here, do you buy all of the materials that are necessary for the completion of the manufacturing of the iPhone, or do you kind of focus in one certain department?
I do not buy everything. That is not what I specifically do.
Mm-hmm.
My main role is to buy the industrial glass for the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, that's what my main focus is.
Okay. All right. So, how do you usually, once you've decided on a company to buy this glass from, how do you usually work on getting those materials from the buying place to the manufacturing plant, which is in Shenzhen, China, correct?
Correct.
All right. So, how do you get those shipped over there?
Typically, we use cargo ships, but we've been expanding more into cargo planes as well.
Okay.
So we're looking to utilize both to get the glass over for our iPhones.
Okay. So, with this new iPhone coming out, I'm sure you guys must have an estimation of what you want to charge consumers for this product. So, do you have an idea of the price in mind for the new iPhone?
Yes, our estimated price is set to be around $1,000.
Okay. All right. Well, when it comes to specifically the glass on the iPhone, what are some of the most important factors or necessities that you need functionally from this material?
So our main concern is durability.
Okay.
Because that's one of our main focuses in complaints is the durability of the glass. People think that we don't have the quality enough glass, so they come back and buy our phone. But we want to end that stigma by having the most quality glass, so it'll avoid shattering from a short distance within a manageable height, and also scratches. Like we've got many reviews of people's car keys scratching their phone if they don't have like a phone protector on top. It just scratches it and it ruins the experience for them, and we just don't want that with our products.
Is that something that you have found through personal experience? I know I'm very habitual about just shoving things underneath my pockets, pen, wallet, phone, headphones, keys, those sorts of things. So is that something that you feel like you've routinely run into?
I wouldn't say routinely, but I would be lying if I said that I have not cracked an iPhone, which everyone knows is a hassle and can be pricey at times if you want to fix it. And also, there is one time where I had such a big scratch on my phone from my keys that I just replaced the whole screen because I couldn't take it. So that's why durability has to be one of our most important factors with the phone.
Definitely. So have you had a lot of customers reaching out and giving feedback on the past devices, and have you kind of taken those new speculations into mind when working towards this new product? So can you tell me a little bit about what this customer feedback is and what people are saying about these products?
For the most part, our customer feedback is positive, but we do have negatives, as I said, about the durability of the glass at times. But also specifically, we've recently noticed the thickness of the glass. Specifically, they said it feels a little off-putting in their pocket for some reason. So we've been looking into sleeker options for the glass and such.
Okay. All right, that's great. Well, like I said, I am from Corning, so we really do focus on all of our materials that we produce, and we really focus on producing the highest quality that we can, and I'm sure that you guys are the same way. The iPhone and the other Apple products are wonderful, magnificent products, and I think that we are able to match the same quality that you guys have with your products. So why don't we meet back in a week or so? I'll take all this information that you've just given to me today, and I'll take it back to my team. We'll create a custom presentation for you guys, bring it back in a week. Does that sound like something that would interest you?
Very much so, yes.
All right, perfect. Well, I really think that our product will be able to help you guys out, and look forward to seeing you again in a week.
Sounds good.
All right, perfect. It was nice to talk to you today, Richie, and see you then.
Sounds good.
Hey, Richie, how you doing?
Good, how are you, Shane?
Great. How was your weekend?
Very good. How was yours?
It was awesome. So, what'd you guys get into this weekend?
Actually, my daughter had a soccer game. It was a good time.
Really? She win?
Oh yeah, she scored 2 goals. It was awesome.
Great. What position does she play?
She plays center midfield actually.
Okay, wow, great. Yeah, it's a fun sport. Well, I'm glad to hear you had a great weekend. And just to start this off, let's just go ahead and go into a quick recap of what we talked about last time. So you told me that for your new iPhone X, you guys are looking to really turn this around and kind of bring your company back into the limelight of the highest quality phone products on the market. So considering that, you said you need something that when you're working with the glass specifically that doesn't crack easy, doesn't scratch easy, is thin enough to fit in your pocket, and kind of really hones in on the beauty of the iPhone so you don't have to have that case. The glass is so strong. All right? So for the drop, we have created a new material in the Gorilla Glass 6 at Corning, and this material is 2 times stronger than the previous glass that we've used, and we have specifically focused on dropping heights because people drop their phones all the time. It happens. It's part of life. So we did some lab testing with the Gorilla Glass 6, and the Gorilla Glass 6 glass lasted 15 consecutive drops without breaking. So in comparison to our competitors, our largest competitors out there, we found that the glass that our competitors was using didn't even last past the first drop. So knowing that, do you feel like this addresses the issue where you're running into problems with the glass breaking easily from drops?
Yes, I think that specifically does address that issue.
All right, perfect. Well, something else that you also mentioned was the thickness of the glass and how sometimes the glass was a little bit too thick on previous products and customers were experiencing problems with it not fitting in their pockets or it just felt uncomfortable. So in order to address that issue, the Gorilla Glass 6 actually has a variable thickness. So depending on the size that you guys actually want, we can determine that later. But the glass can vary in thickness from 0.4 millimeters to 1.2 millimeters. So knowing that, do you feel like that would kind of address your issue with the thickness of the glass?
Yes, it does. One concern is does that affect the durability at all?
Not at all. So the durability will remain the same whether you're on the higher end of the thickness spectrum, so closer to 1.2 millimeters, or on the lower spectrum, so 0.4. The quality still remains the same, and it's really something that we focused in on with the science in order to keep that strength through the varying thickness there.
That's perfect. That's very reassuring.
But yeah, great question. So something else and incredibly important is the scratching. So last time we met, you talked about having phones in your pocket with keys and things getting scratched, or you accidentally drop it on a sharp object, breaks the glass, doesn't look pretty, you run into problems there. So in order to address that, with this new material that we created with the Gorilla Glass 6, it has a superior surface quality, and like I mentioned earlier, it's 2 times stronger than the past product, the Gorilla Glass 5, and also one of the strongest glasses on the market. And I think that this new surface quality really adds to the iPhone and the Apple aesthetic, so maintaining that keeps it sleek, looks sharp, but is also very, very strong. So do you feel like that would be beneficial to the company to add this to the new iPhone X?
I feel like it'd be extremely beneficial.
All right, well, that's great. So I think we touched on the issues where it was the drops, it was cracking from the drops. We addressed the issue with the thickness of the iPhone not fitting in your pocket, and we addressed the issue with the scratching. So keys in your pocket, stronger glass, going to withstand that a lot more now. And I think something that we didn't exactly touch upon, but is the beauty and the aesthetic of the iPhone in general. And I think that's something that you guys really want to focus on, that you want to maintain, and we want to help you do that. So this new Gorilla Glass 6, incredibly strong, adds a lot of value to you and the customer because you will be able to use the iPhone right out of the box. Open it up brand new right out of the box. You won't need to put a case on it because the glass is strong and it's going to withstand scratches and sharp drops and everything in that line of issues. So moving forward, I wanted to go ahead and extend my offer to you, and we would love to produce the Gorilla Glass 6 for the iPhone X. Is that something that you'd be interested in your company?
Yes, very much so. I'd love to set up an order.
All right, perfect. Well, you mentioned earlier that you were looking to produce between 40 to 45 million units of the iPhone X. So we will be providing you guys with 45 million units custom cut glass for the iPhone's X. And we can negotiate at a price. And I was thinking around $5 to $6 per unit. So does that sound like something that would be along your guys' interest?
I think that can be a very manageable price range, yes.
All right, perfect. Well, if it sounds good to you, when we have the product delivered to the manufacturing plant in Shenzhen, I can have a rep from my team available there to handle any conflict issues with scheduling, anything along those lines. Is it something that'd be beneficial to have that extra person there?
Yes, that would give me a lot of reassurance on the product.
And I can reach out actually after I get back to my office and get that contact information for the rep from my team. And I'll do the same with you and have you give me that contact information for your contact out in the manufacturing plant, and we'll get that all worked out there. So if everything sounds good there to you, does it sound like I missed anything?
It's not. I think you touched on everything.
All right, perfect. Well, it was great getting to meet you, Richie, and it was great doing business with you, and I look forward to having success with Apple in the future.
As do I.
Perfect. Well, great seeing you again, and hopefully we meet sometime later.
Yes.
Thanks.